Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. I am a homeschooling mother to 4 children ages 11, 7, 2, and 5 months old. And today I'm very excited to share with you what we are going to be using for language arts for the upcoming school year. So this video is in collaboration with Davene from Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. So make sure you check out their channels down below, as well as a playlist with lots of other awesome mamas in there sharing what they're going to be using next year as well. I'm going to start with my 11-year-old and I'm going to start with handwriting. So for handwriting, are using copywork from the Kind Kingdom. I actually purchased this from someone who printed it out and no longer needed it. But this is just one of the cursive sets. I believe they have a traceable cursive set as well. But he's pretty much past the point of needing to trace and more onto the copywork aspect of cursive. So this is what he's going to be using for that. And I believe that this is for where they draw or notebook or something like that. I'll probably just have him copy this into a notebook. So there's that. For spelling, last year we used 180 days of spelling and word study, and he actually really liked it. He really likes workbook type spelling and things like that. But I just kind of wanted to see where he was at with spelling. He seems to be somewhat of a natural speller, but I just want to fill in any gaps and things like that that he might have before we stop using a spelling curriculum here in the next few years. So if you've never heard of Spelling Power, there's kind of a lot to it. A lot of people that use it don't actually use it the way it's intended, and I don't really plan on using it the way that it's intended either. Honestly, I kind of just wanted something where I could see, you know, okay, like, these are the words you know, these are the words that you don't know, and I would just have like a clear picture of where he needs to start and things like that. I will link a video down below. I cannot remember for the life of me what her channel is called off the top of my head, but it's a video I saw a couple years ago and then re-saw recently. And she kind of talks about how she does it, and that's kind of the way that I was planning to do it. But essentially you test them, you see where they fit, then they, you know, like learn the words with different, you know, hands-on things and things like that. So we're gonna try this. If it works, then both of my boys will be able to use this probably starting next year or the year after that. My younger son will start using it as well. And I've been trying to find curriculums that multiple children can use at the same time and that my younger kids can use over and over and over again. And then when we're done, we can actually resell it and things like that. So that is Spelling Power. So last year we used Fix-It Grammar by IEW. It was fine. I think it's great. I know a lot of people love it. My son liked it because it was quick and he could do it somewhat independently, but he still needed a lot of help and things like that. And so I think if you want to use Fix-It Grammar and maybe you have a child that's a really quick learner, I feel like probably my younger son, who picks up things very quickly, could probably do it. But if your child needs a little bit more in-depth, I would not recommend Fix-It Grammar as your first kind of, as your main grammar curriculum. I think it's great if, you know, you just want something as review and things like that. So if your child has pretty much mastered all of their grammar concepts and things like that, and you just want it for maintenance, I think it's great. But for my son, he definitely needs something a little more in-depth, a little more thorough. So we are going to be trying the Winston Grammar program. This is the basic level, so this is the one that you start with. And again, I will link a video down below of someone I saw who gave a very good in-depth, thorough look inside of this. I haven't used it yet, so I don't really feel comfortable. I can do a flip through, but I don't really feel comfortable telling anybody how to use it. And then you use these cards as well. And you basically just go step by step into learning the parts of speech and other things like that. Articles, adjectives. I mean, my son has literally been learning the same thing all year and still gets hung up on what an adjective is. So we really, that's not saying he hasn't learned different things like conjunctions and articles and things like that, but a lot of the basic stuff he's still struggling with. So we're gonna use something a little bit more thorough this year. And then hopefully next year he'll be able to jump back into Fix It Grammar, because he really did enjoy it and it really was something quick and independent that he could do. So we are going to use the 180 essential vocabulary words for 6th grade. I noticed last year when we did our spelling and word study book that my son really needs a lot of help with vocabulary. There's a lot of vocabulary he did not know that I really didn't realize. And I know obviously you learn as you read and get older and things like that, but I thought it would be good for him to just have something where he can do a couple of times a week to incorporate a little bit more vocabulary. He really likes things like this. And so the thing I like about this compared to the 180 days is that it actually has the words and their meanings on the page. So the other one we would usually have to like look it up on my phone or look it up in the dictionary and things like that, which is a good skill to learn. But there would be times where I would be in the middle of something and he would need me to stop what I was doing and or go look something up or whatever. And he tends to get distracted when he has to do things like that. So I think he will really like this, and like I said, we'll just kind of switch back and forth between this and spelling and grammar and all of that. So that is what he is learning for vocabulary. And then he is going to be choosing for literature. We've pretty much just been reading. Sometimes we'll read things that we're learning in history. We do have a couple of book recommendations from the Kind Kingdom for him to do for independent reading, so we're gonna incorporate some of those. And then I also kind of just let him choose books that he is most interested in, things that he will really enjoy reading. And then I pretty much just have him do like a narration page. So I got these for free from momdelights.com, and then I just printed them out and bound them. And as you can see, we actually are reusing the back pages now because I didn't print enough. But he likes this one because he loves to draw and doodle. And so as you can tell, this one was from February, and he started out just doing a few sentences, and now he does quite a few more. So he's been doing really well with this. And honestly, I think just doing narration for his reading today, he just drew a picture. He didn't feel like writing, which is fine. I think narration though has really helped his comprehension, so that's awesome. So he has been doing really well with that, and he's currently reading Because of Winn-Dixie right now. So like I said, I have a couple of books that I'm planning on having him do, and then just whatever he wants to read and is excited about reading. I try not to push it a lot because he used to be a kid that really didn't like reading, struggled with reading, and now he's reading all the time. So I really don't want to push a lot of stuff on him that he doesn't want to read, because I don't want to like scare the bear, so to speak. All right, so you may have noticed that I have not shown a writing yet. So last year we did IEW's Structure and Style 1A. Wasn't a huge fan of that. Did not like the videos, so we ended up doing going back to Bible Heroes. He did not love that. He just really wants to write what he wants to write, and I felt like since he's doing written narration for his reading and for his history and for his science, it was not a huge concern of mine to do a writing program necessarily. We did do a little bit of Evan Moore, 6 Trait Writing, and he liked that, but I picked up these Just Right books. These, I think this is more like 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and then 4th through 6th grade. And I thought that this is just something that we could kind of go over, maybe even with my son who is 7. If you guys want a more in-depth look through these, I would be happy to show them. There's not a lot of people that talk about these, but they're rated really highly. So he could probably start in the 2nd or 3rd book, I would assume. I really don't want to like jump him around everywhere, so we might even start in book 1, but that is pretty much what I was planning on doing for him. I don't really plan on having my 2nd grader do this year, but if he's interested and he wants to join his brother, then he's more than welcome, and we'll try it. I got pretty much everything that I bought for school this year was used from eBay or very inexpensive. Balling on a budget. So let's jump into my second grader. So as I said, for Kind Kingdom, he is going to be doing copy work as well. But his is going, so his will be, I'll show you a couple, I'll put a couple sample pages in right here so you can see. Alright, so for spelling, he is going to be starting All About Spelling Level 1. He's currently on All About Reading Level 3, but I absolutely hated doing All About Reading and All About Spelling at the same time with my oldest, and so I decided we would wait a little bit. He's been doing like some different spelling activities, worksheet type stuff for spelling, and so if you have not heard, they do have a brand new All About Spelling for levels 1 and 2 right now. I was very tempted to purchase those, but I decided that I was just going to use up what I have right now, and he will be none the wiser. So maybe incorporate a couple of their activity ideas, because it seems like a lot of it's just ideas, not necessarily like things that you can't just make on your own. So we are going to start that. I thought we'd maybe start it because we're currently done with our other spelling, but he asked to wait until second grade to start it, so we only have a few weeks left, so that's fine. We'll just start that at the beginning of our next school year. So I went ahead and picked this up. I actually got this one and the first one for like $10 on eBay, but this is by The Well-Trained Mind, and this is kind of like basically a very simple introduction to grammar, very gentle. It talks about nouns, it has poetry memorization, it also has some copy work, so if I feel like we need a little bit more copy work, there's plenty in here. So it talks about parts of speech, capitalizing, punctuation, narration, all that good stuff, and it's just more of a conversation really. So the goals for grade 2 are to train the child's ear by allowing him to listen to correctly spoken language, train the child's speech by practicing correctly spoken grammar, train the child's attention by reading aloud to him and having him narrate back to you the content or storyline using proper grammar, and to teach beginning skills in correct grammar, punctuation, and capitalization. So if you would like a flip through of this, just let me know, but this is very much just like more of a conversation between he and I rather than like actually a ton of writing. I think you start writing more and filling in a workbook and things like that in 3rd grade. So we're gonna give this a try. I've never used this before, but I thought that this would be perfect for this year. So he is currently on level 3 of All About Reading. He just started it, gosh, I don't even know, maybe a month ago. He's actually almost, I would say 25% done with that. I think he may finish or be very close to finishing level 3 by the end of our school year. I don't even know. He's just flying through it at this point. So I'm pretty sure probably after the first 6 weeks of our next school year, he will probably be starting level 4. This is the only one that we have the color version in, by the way. But so yeah, he's just gonna jump right into level 4. If he finishes level 4 during next school year, we will simply just start reading books together. So I actually purchased these last year from a book sale, and they are the McGuffies. This is the primer, the first and the second reader. So I think if he finishes those next year, we might go through these. If you've never seen inside them, I can do a flip through if you guys are interested. But so I think that these would be good to just kind of go over for him next year if he does finish All About Reading and he's not quite ready to start in with chapter books and things like that. Because even if he can read the words, that doesn't really mean that he's necessarily ready to be able to sit there that long and, you know, read through whole chapter books and things like that. So I have those as well. For him, we, like I said, we may do some just right and we may not. I don't usually have my kids start reading until about 3rd or 4th grade, but that is my plan currently for him. So I think that's everything. Okay guys, so that is everything from me today. Make sure you check out that playlist down below, and thank you so much to our wonderful hosts again this week. I will be back with you guys next week, and I'll see you then. Bye.